if you can, get all of them to sign before you leave. And I might add this, you can pay $66 or you can get 66 signatures, but you cannot mix them. Is that right, Shoona?
That is correct.
So if you go, either go all signatures or all $66. So
Question. Do they have to live inside the city limit?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
do you live inside the city?
Yes.
Oh, good.
You can't go to Forks and get everybody to sign.
What about unincorporated area of Port Angeles?
Can you run for city council outside of the actual city limits?
No.
No, you must live inside the city limits to be a representative on city council. That's my understanding.
Yes.
But now there's a county commission seat that's open, and it's open to any. Somebody can explain that. When the primary is just in the district, but the general election is in for the entire. Thank you, Norma. I see you nodding your head back there.
But the candidate has to come from the district.
The candidate has to come from the district that they're running for, right? We won't go to that right now. What do you think about this? Having these type of meetings like this periodically? Certainly encouraged, and this is the first time we've done this locally, and for, at least for the people that are promoting it tonight. So I really do appreciate all of you coming out tonight. We have this hall until 10 o'clock, and we'd like to get, Wendy's got something to tell
Don't
me.
forget to read that letter.
Oh, yes, thank you, thank you. At Protocol, we get some very interesting letters, 99% in support of Protocol. I'm not going to read any of that other 1%. Some of you may have written it. But this came in the mail just the other day, and it hits on some of the things that we've talked about tonight. It says, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this gentleman. He's 80 years old, 80-something years old now. He's a lifelong resident of Port Angeles. He was a school teacher here for many years. He became a storyteller, a volunteer storyteller after his teaching experience, and he has been to so many gatherings to do storytelling, mostly for young people. But here's what he wrote to us just a couple of days ago. Dear sirs, I applaud your efforts to promote fairness, dialogue, and common sense in our city government. I wish to support your effort. And he did send a check on it, yeah. Hint, hint. So, I have some questions. How much money has the city government spent on consultants these past few years?
Now here I can tell you. 2 million in 1 year.
Say again, Edna?
2 million in 1 year.
2 million in this past year.
Right.
Question number 2. What would it take to broadcast city government meetings to the citizens so that the citizens would know what is behind some of these dubious decisions? Government would be more transparent. Is it a technical issue or is it a reluctance issue? Right now, all I can tell is a reluctance issue. What, Edna?
But if they were to sign the contract and get the additional 1%, we wouldn't need any funding.
Okay, what she's talking about is when the franchise agreement comes up again for renewal in 2 years, they have within the possibilities to add 1% to each of the cable bills, and that would fund a community media center. It would help people to learn how to do production work, and you could really have a viable, independent, volunteer production, and all of this would go live, or it wouldn't necessarily be live, but you could do some live and some recorded programs on Channel 3. Now, if you would just get 4 or 5 hours a day, that would at least cause people to turn on Channel 3, and they might get addicted to it. You know, I spent hours watching C-SPAN when that was the only thing I could get on. But there are a lot of interesting things. I've been to, I won't say hundreds, but I've been to dozens and dozens of meetings in Port Angeles. Not all of them are riveting, but all of them are informative, and it certainly helps you know how to make decisions about what's going on in the government and what, whom to support and who to try to send on down the line. In a PS, he says, I'm a lifelong resident of Port Angeles. We need to acknowledge that our timber town is dying. Perhaps we need a formal funeral. A city council with fresh ideas about the town's survivor is called for. This is from a gentleman by the name of Dennis Duncan. I'm sure most of you know who Dennis Duncan is. And I called him this morning and told him how much I appreciated his letter, tried to get him to come out tonight, but he said, I'm 80 years old and I just don't get out at night anymore.
His wife was the first woman mayor of Port Angeles.
And she served 3 terms as county commission back in the 70s. So,
He's a treasurer, he's a local treasurer.
I treasure this letter, I may frame it.
Yeah.
Okay, as I said, yes ma'am.
I just want to say one other thing. If they go ahead and sign and get the additional 1%, no money is taken away from the city. It will cost them nothing. That's over and above and especially earmarked for the public station. So it would behoove everybody to get behind this and make sure that we get this done.
And with my cable bill, I do have cable. With my cable bill, that 1% would come to about 95 cents per month. And I would gladly add that just to have the local programming that I think is capable. We've got some creative people here, folks. I want to tell you about one particular group. Go ahead.
So why wouldn't this be podcasted?
It could be podcasted. There's so many ways it could be
You
done.
don't need a center for that. I mean, a
Beg pardon?
podcast, we need a recorder and an internet line.
Oh,
It's not an expensive thing. It's really easy. It can be streaming.
let's talk before you leave tonight.
We're streaming charter, so.
There's a lot of creative events happening in town. Let me tell you just one that I know of. There's a group of theatrical people who will get together on a Friday night and they will begin to plan and they will write a play, they will cast it, they will practice it, and they will perform it the following Sunday. So they go from scratch on Friday night to a performance on Sunday night. And I think it would be so fascinating to videotape this and put it out there for the entire process. The background, how they get ready to do it, how they cast it, all of the many problems that come to putting a play on like that, and then actually film the play. And it's some really creative stuff being done. That's just one of the many things that could be put on our public access channel if we could just get access, city council people. Okay, as I said, we've got the hall for the, at least until 10 o'clock. We've got plenty of food here. I want to see you eating up this food, and I want to see you come out here dancing, and let's have a good time. And let's bring back the highlighters and give them another round of applause for their...